YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Extra NG 1600. All new from Hobby King through Avios. Check it out. We're gonna fly it right now. 4000 6S Turnigy heavy duty. XT60 equipped, 90 equipped. We're gonna fly it right now. This thing is 3D, got some crazy throws and even more crazy power. Full disclosure, we had one issue with one aileron. We will talk about it in great detail in our unbox build radio setup, but we're gonna pretend it didn't happen for this flight because we wanna see this. Back. We have a little bit of wind, throttle cuts off, AS3X Plus installed on our AR631. All right, here goes nothing. Better be good plane. Oh yeah, on the mains. Yeah, she's got some power. Oh, that is sweet. Oh yes. AS3X has it feeling pretty good. I got a little bit of oscillation on the ailerons. I'm gonna take that out by turning my gains down just a hair. I'm in 1X. That's 25% throttle, tons of power, absolutely no problem doing anything with this plane right now. It'll pretty much do exactly what you want, but it does relax down for general aviation style flying and sport flying. As you can see, we have a little bit of wind. I'll go by the windsock. 1600 millimeters. This thing comes in a box large enough to be a coffin for small children. It is huge. I need a little bit of up trim on the elevator. About 4 clicks of up trim. There it is. Okay. Our CG worked out spot on. It's 100 to 105 from the leading edge. Keep in mind there's a taper on the wing. And that means that you have to be a little bit careful. That's 50% throttle there, guys. Look at this, just nuts. Oh, it's so easy to do the things. I love it. I'm not a very good 3D pilot, so for me, I need extra power. Yes, a cat just ran by in case you were paying attention. I'm just seeing how slow I can do it without it falling out. And those wing fences are optional on the end. Camera crew, I'm gonna scare the cat so she leaves. She did not leave. That's Callie, by the way. You got plenty of power to punch out. It's not the most punchy power we've ever seen on a 3D plane, but it's definitely there. It's got enough power for speed too, but I don't really want speed on a plane like this. I want thrust, and I want thrust now. Those black wings do make the wing disappear a little bit when they're flying at you a little bit. The rudder authority is amazing. The elevator authority is plenty. These are, if you want to call it the factory settings. Good clouds for us this morning. Full disclosure, we lost 2 days because of a servo, and then we ultimately used an AR, oh, excuse me, is it an AR?
No, it's just an A.
I was afraid that was gonna happen there. I haven't hit that thing yet, guys, and I knew I was right on the cusp of hitting it. Hope I didn't break off the spinny thing. But I did need to replace that one. Oh shoot, did I just replace it?
No, you just replaced it.
Son of a biscuit lover. So we used an
A6380 servo. Yep.
Yeah, it was the one out of
J3 Cub.
J3 Cub. And it was quite a bit of work to make it fit because the aileron servo, elevator servo, rudder servo, all the servos in this plane are a coreless motor, and they come in a small case. They're 15 millimeters wide, and they are narrow. The screw holes are only 7.3 or 7.4 millimeters apart. Most of the standard size planes you're gonna see are gonna have, there's some symmetrical upside down flying for you. Most of them are going to have 10, and they're gonna be 20 millimeters wide. So fortunately for us, we had a J3 Cub sitting in our living room to use, but we just didn't know we could get away with that because I can't believe they work almost exactly the same, but in a bigger package that weighs more. So at this point, I would say very good performance, feels way lighter on its feet than what we've had in the past, but admittedly, what we've had in the past has probably not been really all that amazing. That's our 5-minute timer. Also, I'm not a really good 3D pilot, so full disclosure, if you didn't already know that, I'm not. which means you're gonna see a mix of more of like a sport flying from Brian Phillips RC. That's just the way I do it because I'm not a huge fan of the 3D style flying. I think it's fun. Don't get me wrong, don't want to take anything away from anybody's favorites, but it's just not where I have developed the skills that I use and enjoy. Now, we also set ours up with safe. So we'll show you safe flight. It's gonna keep that thing really level. Holy cow, look at that, that's crazy. Look at this, that's no rudder input. Nuts. That is hilarious. Yes, you can bank it still, but yes, safe is gonna keep that thing. That is hilarious. It keeps it so flat and so level.
Well, you opened up your limits like to the max too.
That doesn't have anything to do with holding it level.
No, I know, but for
that has to do with the limits for pitch and roll. Some grass hops for you into the air. It's hilarious and safe. Okay, back to AS3X. Now I'm gonna go actually to no AS3X just to show you. It's not really limiting my authorities or my roll limits or anything like that. But I can definitely tell you it crisps it up nicely, doesn't it? So now, when you guys see the other guys reviewing this plane, I don't want to take anything away from anybody else. We had kind of a fluke incident with that Servo, but you're going to notice that most people that do 3D planes are going to do a little bit heavier 3D. I just want to let you know this plane is really fun to fly. It's a great plane, and I cannot believe how well it handles those landings that are very poor. Okay. Oh crap, we have thrust reverse too. I totally forgot.
We didn't set that up.
Yes, we did.
We did.
We set it up at the beginning. You want to see it?
Sure.
Okay. So check this out. You don't even need it. This thing slows down so nicely. Oh, it's so good. Let's check for damage because I did technically take that flag out. Also, I just want to say the weakest part of this plane has got to be the tail dragger tail wheel assembly. It is mounted in the tail. Okay, so throttle cuts on, back to forward thrust. And the second weak part is, of course, the landing gear. What is that? That is so gross. Ugh. It's because the grass is wet. Yeah. So they splay out really good. You want to get over there and get down so they can see that there. You see how it's splayed out, folks? That's something you're going to have to deal with. Now, also, I have a voltage alarm inside of here, which I normally don't run, but because I have a Turnigy heavy duty, I actually have a balance lead. So let's show you this gigantic tray. And look at this. We are currently at, crap, I can't see that.
I can't do
Looks like about 3.9 volts. 3.9. Okay, so we're balanced at 3.9. We're not going to show all 6. So that means we can go for just a minute or two longer.
I don't see any damage.
No, I don't either. I think what happened is I probably just caught the thing and ripped the end off.
Must have.
I just hope I didn't break our flagpole because that thing has been great. By the way, those windsock poles are awesome.
Yep.
And we have links to them at Brian Phillips RC in our supplies tab. I also set up flaps and I'm going to show you that next. Okay, throttle cut is off. I'm in lower expo mode this time, which is only 5%. We started in 10. I also have a 20 with low rates, but I don't think I need them. This plane, literally, you could take out of the box and throw in the air without stabilizer. You'd probably be okay, but that's not the way I fly. By the way, you guys notice I janked it pretty hard on the takeoff? It doesn't have to be janked like that. I just did that because it's kind of cool on a 3D plane. Now that voltage alarm will beep for us, but just keep in mind these louder props will sometimes hide that. Man, that looks really good in the air, doesn't it?
That does. I like the green.
I like the green too. We were concerned about the green. I'm trying to keep it clean and slow and low throttle. If there's one thing I would change about this plane, and to be honest, I feel like it's really well done, despite our very frustrating experience with the Servo. That was a fluke. It wasn't even broken, folks. It was like programmed wrong or something. The one thing I can say about this plane is I feel like if you did a lower pitch, a less aggressive pitch on the prop, you might be able to get this thing to do even more craziness on slow performance. Okay, Now, I want to get into a landing configuration, and I want to go ahead and throw the flaps and see how it does, okay? So I'm going to get into a lineup. Okay, take off flaps. Now landing flaps. Oh man, that gets floaty. That gets so floaty. Look how nice it slows down though. But the roll authority stays because we didn't even go all the way down. These are flaperons. Look how slow it's going. It's hilarious. It's barely moving. Holy cow. It's like going like 2 miles an hour. That is awesome. That's the way I want all planes to fly. Look how slow this is, guys. That's nothing, okay? Look at it squatting. Holy cow. You see it squat?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try grass hops and not break the prop. Oh man, I'm gonna have to, okay, so throttle cut's on. That has to be adjusted. Holy cow. Look at that. I told you those would be a problem. Throttle cut's on. No, they splayed out, look.
Yeah.
Look how much they're splayed out. Fortunately, they bend back really easy. But I gotta say, if that's a design flaw, that's it. We've already seen grass hops, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on the driveway so I can clean off the wheels. I really enjoy flying this plane. And to be honest, you know, with the gears splaying out like that, it's gonna sound like I'm trying to defend Hobby King or Avios or whatever, but I've had planes that have really springy landing gear, and I'm thinking of, what am I thinking of? Gosh, what is it? Long, slender wing. Oh, the Cirrus SR22T. Doesn't that have the super, super stiff? It makes it a little bit challenging to land because if you do hit, they'll bend. Okay, full landing flaps now. That is so crazy. I'm gonna do an inside pass. I'm out of throttle. But look at the thing, it just flies awesome and super slow. Now I'm gonna turn safe on. It's hilarious, like flying a blimp. I'm like 15% throttle here, show them. Okay, maybe 20. Just one click of back trim. That is crazy. And it's windy, folks. Woo! Okay, I knew I was gonna find the line and I found it. So yeah, okay, now take off flaps only. Okay, gotta figure out where the manned aircraft is. They're high.
Up behind.
Okay, behind 9 o'clock,
Yep.
10 o'clock?
Yep.
Yeah, but they're way up there.
Yeah, they're way
okay,
up.
so I'm paying attention to the plane, sorry guys. Gotta respect manned aircraft when they're close like that, for sure. Okay, full landing flaps here. Man, that thing is so easy to fly with the flaps. I thought it would suck. Okay. Oh, did you see it fall out from itself when I shut them off? That was hilarious and awesome all at the same time. So now, guys, Brian Phillips RC, as I've mentioned several times in this video, is not a very good 3D pilot. Doesn't mean that I can't do some maneuvering. It's just more, I've learned other things. And generally what I try to do is 3D to avoid crashing or hitting light poles and stuff like that.
Our oldest likes 3D.
Yeah, he's gonna love this plane. The wind, I'm going with the wind too. Oh crap.
I have no
You know
idea.
what?
Yeah, it's coming at our face right now.
Change your position, please. Right there. Take off flaps, now landing flaps. Watch this, guys. Oh, that is awesome. Look how buttery smooth it is.
Nice.
And yes, I didn't bend those landing gear very even.
I didn't think so.
No, I got one way more than the other.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I really enjoy flying this as a sport plane. It's got some massive speed for being a 3D plane. Avios has really outdone themselves on this one because I definitely got a little extra overcorrection there.
What is your alarm gonna alarm at?
I don't know, now? It's beeping.
Okay, I thought so.
I'm out of throttle. Now take off flaps. Remember, it's 6S.
Right.
I can fly this at 10% throttle, so it's not really a big deal. Okay, watch yourself though, just in case. A little bit of slip. A little bit of thrust reverse. Oh man. That is a fun experience. If only our servo wouldn't have been bad, it would have been perfect. By the way, Expo at 5% was great. I don't feel like we gave anything up going to 5%. I felt like it was still every bit as clean. I almost feel like you could fly this with the negative expo like I've done on some of my other 3D planes. So I could make my middle setting 10, and I could do that for more conventional sport flying. And then I could go to like -10 for my top setting. So it'd be really punchy. And then I could do a 20% expo with 90% rates for somebody that's landing it that's maybe a little bit more concerned about that. I gotta say, safe works really good in this. I didn't think it would. One of my biggest points in the unbox build radio setup is that stuff like bad servos can happen, and we're gonna help you get through it. Our Bright Phillips RC, we show the entire process. That's why the unbox build radio setup is so long. And I'm telling you what, it's probably half fixing the servo and half doing the rest.
Yeah.
Now for you, it's not gonna be as big an issue because these things will be available to you. And because we're new releasing this plane, or early release rather, it's not something that we could just say, hey, let's get this coming or let's order it.
Yep.
This plane, you can't get the servo yet. So as a result, it makes it pretty difficult for us. And yes, we did check local hobby shops. Nobody had anything. And so the local hobby shop in there was actually the best we could find. So that being said, awesome plane, really fun. Worked really good, paired nicely with our NX10. And yes, in the unbox build radio setup, we did run out of channels at 250. So when your number count gets to 250, then this transmitter stops letting you add
a new model.
So basically what you have to do is go in and unnumber your top numbered models if you want to add more models.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We actually went back to an old model that we knew we had eliminated from our fleet, and we overrode it.
Yep.
And it gave us the flexibility to do it. So, okay, a couple things to think about real quick. 4000 6S 60 through 120C. They call it a 60C minimum. Okay, I think that's way overkill. You don't need a 60C. I think this thing would do fine on a 30C pack. You just might not get the punch you want. I do suggest you use as high a C pack as you can get. So if you got a 50C smart pack, I guarantee you're gonna be fine on it. If you've got, we've got some China Hobby Line 70C packs that we were gonna use, but we just don't have the time for it in this exact environment. We gotta get this video going because we're a couple of days late. I think they're gonna be fine. Those are also 5000s. The 4000s fit really good. We got CG spot on. You can see the markings right there.
And you got tons of room.
And I feel like you could probably cut it back another 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and you'd be totally fine if you have the right stabilizer. For me, I'm probably gonna cut down the roll axis just a hair so I can leave everything else the same. So let's go into the shade and we're gonna do that. Callie, I am not letting you in. She's been crying this whole time. Okay, so forward programming, or excuse me, is that in forward programming? Yes, it is. So forward programming and gyro settings, AS3X settings, AS3X gains. So roll, I'm gonna put that down to 30, okay? Which is gonna drastically change the performance of the model. In fact, it's not beeping, so we'll take one quick circuit and just show how that feels, because as you can see, I'm about 50% on my rotary knob. I could probably crank that up just a hair. Throttle cuts off. In fact, we'll just stay out of the sun for a second. It is quite hot. Thanks to the camera crew for putting up with this model. Guys, you forget the camera crew, she puts up with the model. I have takeoff flaps this time. Oh, wow, look how nice that takeoff looked.
Great.
That was sweet. I should have taken off with the takeoff flaps each time. So we'll just show you a little bit of higher speed action so you can see if that AS3X gain is right. Oh yeah, she feels good. No oscillation. Holy cow, that's fast. I don't know how you guys remember what position you're in when you let off of the roll. That's one thing I'm trying to learn. She's not even beeping, that's just the squeal of the motor. Now takeoff flaps. Now landing flaps. So flight time for us on this pack, easily. Woo! There it is. It just started beeping. Throttle cuts on. Guys, this plane is a joy to fly. You will absolutely love it. I highly suggest that you get one. By the way, the wing looks like it's drooping because the landing gear is splayed out on this side more than this side. And again, 3 issues we had with this model. The landing gear are too soft. That's also true for the tail wheel, but I don't have a problem with it being too soft Because here's the thing, if you grease those landings in, you may not experience that problem. Those first couple landings, I pretty much put down in flight. It was like I was flying on the ground. And I'll tell you what, the landing gear really helped make that possible without bouncing back into the air.
Right.
I will trade having to resplay my landing gear down for having landing gear that are too stiff and they bounce the plane every time. That's annoying, but also that saves a lot of weight, and the weight that you want in the right place really matters on a 3D plane, okay? The other thing we noticed about this plane, obviously, is the dead servo. That dead servo is not dead. The motor wasn't dead. The gear set's awesome. We actually tear it apart in the video, right?
Well, yeah, we showed it a little bit.
We
did
show
it a lot off camera.
We did more off camera.
We were trying to
I
fix
even
it.
opened up the feedback potentiometer, couldn't find anything wrong with it because there wasn't. It was in the microcontroller. Something was like programmed wonky. So it had 4 distinct points. So I couldn't have flown it that way. It would have gone every time I got close to those ranges. But in a quick response, it was perfect.
It was fine. Yep.
So I don't understand what was going on. But if you guys know, leave it in the comments below. You do have to glue the tail on. Keep in mind, we used China glue, worked perfect, and you have to glue in an exhaust port that comes out the bottom.
Yep.
And then what was the other? There was one other small thing.
We glued on the little shark
the pokey
teeth.
things. Yeah, the vortex generators.
Yep.
I think those are vortex generators. And then we did use the optional wing fences. You don't have to use the wing fences on the end. My suggestion is go ahead and use them. In fact, they could be bigger if you wanted to make it even easier to fly. But this plane is awesome. I really enjoy flying it. Oh, we did choose to use the Flex Innovations looking pilot. You don't have to. You get to glue it in if you want it. It does fit through the hole. You can take it off. You can pop an FPV in there. But I don't know who wants to get sick using FPV in a 3D plane. But at the end of the day, awesome plane, awesome model. Avios, good job. Keep cranking out some amazing models because this is expensive, but it's not near as expensive as some of the competitive offerings. And so it's going to be kind of timely right now. And we know, but you might not. This is a great model. I think you're going to like it. Buy one from the links in the video description below. If you want to support Brian Phillips RC, there's a number of different ways. Watch the videos, like them, click the bell for subscribe. Click the bell when you do subscribe so you can get notified of new content. And then also secondarily, if you want to support us financially, buy from the links. That's the best way you can support us because then we earn commissions from these companies that we have relationships with. Now, remember, just because we have relationships with these companies and we want them to succeed doesn't mean that we're going to leave out details like dead servos on a brand new plane that's nearly 600 bucks, okay? We tell you all that. The full truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God. And we try to help people come back to the hobby and people that are brand new to the hobby to have good information to work with. Because here's the thing, if you don't have that and somebody just lies and feeds a bunch of BS to you, you're going to end up crashed and quit. We want more pilots. We want better planes. We want better pricing. And the way we can do that is make a larger envelope of audiences that enjoy this hobby and actually find success. It's a hard hobby. We'll help you get started. You're in the right place here on Brian Phillips RC. Other ways to support us, Patreon for monthly support, YouTube members for monthly support, YouTube super thanks for one-time donations, and then of course, PayPal if you don't want to be part of those groups, and a P.O. box if you want to send us something. Just let us know if you're going to send it so we know to look for it in the P.O. box. Beautiful plane. Good job, Avios. 1600 millimeters. Extra NG. Can't wait to see what's next. Stay tuned, guys. If you're looking for the unbox, it's uncustomary that we won't have it published prior to our flight. It's too long. And so we are out of time. So if you guys are looking for it, it will be up probably later today. So check it out. We do evergreen videos. We leave them up forever. So this is going to age very badly, but I'm just going to tell you right now, check it out. The link is not in the description for this, but anytime you want to see something, go to brianphillipsrc.com, sort by type, and you can find a plethora of the thousands of videos sorted so that you can find exactly what you want to find, compare and contrast, and then make a purchase decision.
The link will be in the description.
The link will be in the description, Camera Crew says.
It will be,
All right, check it out, guys. Thanks for watching. Come back for more.